Now, ordinarily I'd pull over and take a photo of the bike, in the background. I've done that lots of times, and it doesn't look quite as impressive when it's not covered in snow. Still good though, but I'm having a good run, so it's going to rock on. Okay, so here we are walking around our capital city at 4 o'clock in the morning, and there's not a soul around. Quite peaceful, but also quite eerie at the same time. And I'm just on my way to pick up my motorbike. So yesterday riding into this car park was my first time experiencing these steep ramps with the sharp turns at the top. And now this morning, or middle of the night as it is, I'm experiencing the steep ramps going down with sharp turns at the bottom for the first time. And it's at night time as well. I mean, arguably, the car park's well lit, but still, new experiences. And there's a little bit of traffic. Last time I did this, last year, it was like no traffic. But we're all good. On our way to the ferry.
I'm humming Cruising on the Inter-Island from the 1990 TV advertisement.
A few moments later.
That song was actually called Sailing to the Other Side. It was sung by the Waratahs, who not only sang the jingle, but they actually featured in the advert itself. I'll put a link in the description if I remember. Another beautiful day at a calm crossing. You can tell all the tourists as they're the ones all wrapped up in jackets, while local Kiwi boy here, I'm only in a t-shirt. And before you know it, we'd made it to the South Island and the adventure began. I was planning on going through Molesworth Station, the largest farm in New Zealand, but it was closed due to the dry conditions and high fire risk. So I thought I'd take the next road over, being the Rainbow Road. And being a road, I thought there'd be some gravel, but how hard could it be? And then you came across this, and they call it a road. I've never done anything like this before. Being on my own with a 250 kg bike, I really didn't want to drop it, so I took it real easy and manhandled it through. I was discovering that there was a fine line between stalling the bike and wheel spinning the bike, and you want to be just in between. The camera doesn't do it justice, but there were some very steep, tight corners to it. I was liking the challenge. And you're thinking, that was a bit of a struggle. Then someone comes along the other way on exactly the same bike with twice the luggage and a passenger even. Some of it was in good condition to get your speed up. But the scenery, oh the scenery! Around every corner was the ever-changing, ever-splendiferousness of the South Island. The scenery is quite dangerous at times, as it distracted you from keeping your eyes on the road. I'd gotten the hang of the smaller river crossings. Steep on the exit and some fairly lumpy bits on the other side, but we made it through alright.
Okay, so here we are leaving Hamner Springs. Had a really good swim of the hot pools last night. We're heading to Mercer today. Should be a fairly easy ride, which is nice after a couple of long days. And a beautiful little town is Hamner. Would you look at this? How wonderful is that? Nature at its best. Looking a bit dry though. It normally would be green hills, but they're quite brown at the moment.
This is Marua Falls. There's this cool historical place in Murchison. The big part was the barn to store your weary horse, and the little rooms down the side to sleep in.
So today we're heading from Murchison to Farewell Spit, right up the top left of the South Island as far as the road will go. There is a tramping track, you can tramp a bit further, about 10 hours or something like that, but obviously won't be doing that today. So yeah, let's see where the road takes us.
I couldn't start my noisy bike till this little fella was out of the way. He's a New Zealand Weka. The beach at Farewell Spit was so quiet and peaceful, stretching off into the distance. This is the wreck of the steamship the Janie Seddon. Built in 1901, it served in both the First and Second World War as a submarine mine layer in Wellington Harbour. The Buller Gorge swing bridge. They have a flying fox across it. Would be fun to do it, but I was too tight to pay whatever it costs for a 30-second ride. I came across this thing. The Kilkenny Lookout gives a view of the craggy one-lane road for two-way traffic that is cut into the cliff that drops into the Buller River below. We're on the coast, well and proper now, as you can see the mist coming off the ocean making the place look almost foggy. Then we head from the west coast to the east coast via Harper's Pass. Some interesting engineering designs to protect the roadway, like this water funnel thing, which must be a sight when it's in full flow. This is the Otura Viaduct. It was opened in 1999 and built because the existing road, the Zigzag, was under threat from major rockfalls. When you're travelling over it, you can imagine a large rock slide coming down and wiping it out. Or maybe that's just me. It doesn't seem that much when travelling over it, but it's far more impressive when viewed from the side. These loud birds are New Zealand Kias. Christchurch City has some cool artwork, from places to tie your bike, to this thing, and this thing. They're the larger part of the way through building a new stadium. They've got this cool push and go track for skateboarders and scooters. So this morning we're heading out east of Christchurch to Akaroa. Akaroa is a sleepy seaside town with boutique little arty crafty shops. Then up over the top of the island to go to the other side. Despite the elevation, the weather has changed in a heartbeat, so welcome to New Zealand weather. The camera doesn't show it, but these roads are quite steep even. I'm loving this. How about a whole beach all to yourself? And on this glorious day, we're heading up the east coast from Christchurch to Blenheim. Tunnel anyone? But wait, there's more. Send no money and get a second tunnel for free. They've done an amazing amount of work to reopen this road after earthquakes caused landslides to close the road a few years back. These nets are a clever way to stop falling rocks from landing on the road. How cool are these mountains, still with snow on them during the summer?
And we're heading to French Pass, so way up north of the South Island there, and then we're going to come back to Nelson.
How's this for a fantastic milking shed walk? You know you're in for a fun time when you see a sign with all these features, 30 k's of it even. Not a good place to come off the road here. Picture postcard little spot. At lunch I found the Stingray just cruising along the shoreline. Coming into Picton, I found this cruise ship in the harbour around the corner from town. I never knew that cruise ships came into Picton. When I say found, it's not like you could lose it. Look at the size of it simply dwarfing this bus. Found a beach east of Picton that gets stones deposited on it, growing 5 metres a year. The top of the South Island is just covered in row upon row of vines. Must be a massive task to maintain them.
Good morning, we're on our way to the Blenheim Car Museum. I'll put its proper name on the screen now, and going to have a good look around there. They're all New Zealand cars, so really sort of more important to us New Zealanders, I guess, or more relevant to us New Zealanders. And cars can be more than just a machine or a piece of machinery to get you from A to B. And yes, they are that, all that, but you can also admire and respect the ingenuity and the creativity, the engineering design and concepts, and the advancements that have been made in the technology between models of cars. At the same time, others might admire the art form that cars can be. A lot of cars are just plain Jane, boxes, but a lot of cars are designed in style as well as form and function. So it's also beauty in the eye of the beholder type thing. But I think it goes deeper than that. I think it goes further than that, and that cars are also something we have a connection with, what they represent, what they mean. They can trigger memories or responses from the past when you can remember being leaning over the back seat of the station wagon when you didn't have to wear seat belts, and getting into all the groceries that you just picked up from the grocery store. That sort of thing, times and places and things you used to do with the people you were with, that sort of thing, or places you visited, times you broke down in them, even things like that. All adventurous stories and times with mum and dad and that sort of thing. So they can evoke an emotional response in some respects, and I know they have in me at times, which has sometimes come right out of left field, out of blue. You wouldn't have thought so, but they have. So there we go. Let's go and have a look-see. Okay, so we've made it to the Omaka Car Museum, and there's two big sheds to have a look around. So this is a 1988 Ford Fairmont Ghia. In my mind, it was the epitome of the Falcon range. The Fairmont had all the bells and whistles, 4.1 litre fuel-injected motor, and it had all the features and everything you could ever want. Cruise control, air conditioning, electronic dash, electric mirrors, electric windows, very light power steering, so it's beautiful to drive. Nice interior, lovely seats, comfortable. Even the centre vents had a feature where they would swing on a motor back and forth automatically. Plus a trip computer that told you all your distances and fuel consumption and that sort of thing. What more could you want out of a car? I almost bought one when I was a young fella.
You can see a little marina from downtown Picton, but a closer look shows how far it extends and how full it is. Someone on the council has a sense of humour. I love it. Then it was time to load up on the ferry back to the North Island. This time there were a few other bikes there as well. Another blue sky day to travel past Ruapehu on the way home. And if you've made it this far, thank you. Please like and subscribe.